How we doing? We good? Good. Thank you for coming. This is great. I hope you're all doing well. I'm having a weird year. A few months ago, my eye doctor diagnosed me with herpes. Not exactly what you expect to hear from the eye doctor. It's like going to the chiropractor and getting diagnosed with herpes. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's a real thing. It's called ocular herpes. It's the same thing that causes cold sores. That virus can lie dormant in your nervous system, flare up with eye. It's just herpes for nerds. That's all it is. It's just a virus, but I hate it though, because it's just a virus. It's just a virus. I hate it though, because it kind of sounds like I lit a dude nut in my eye. I don't love that. This is true. The only way it can be transmitted is through my tears. So no more sex for me. I mean, that's not just to be safe, I wear goggles like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar when I have sex now. That's a tough conversation to have with the woman, to look at her and be like, hey, just so you know, I have herpes, but it's okay, we can have sex now. I can just never be vulnerable with you. The other day I realized that my sex playlist was way too ambitious for me. Every dude's got a playlist that they made, and I just need to add songs to it. I put mine on the other day, hit shuffle, and halfway through the song Invented Sex by Trey Songz started playing. I had to stop everything. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to live up to this. This is crazy. Invented, I'm not bad, but Invented Sex, like, let's just put The Office on in the background. Been trying to get back out here. I went through a breakup recently, and I had to do a lot of... Sorry, thank you, yeah. I was looking back and I realized that all my exes do way better after we break up. Like, way better. Like one ended up becoming a doctor, one became a model, one became a pilot. Like, they really seem to find themselves after they... The last one was tough. Last one was tough, because she told me, she was like, you need to move on. And I told her, I was like, you need to update your LinkedIn. Like, shit's about to get good for you. Like, yeah, I'm hurt right now, but you are about to be president. Congratulations. Back out here. I hate out here. Out here sucks. I have to go back to pretending like I don't know what my own horoscope is. That's the worst. Every dude here's done it, because you can't tell a woman you know your horoscope, because then she'll know that you're a hoe, right? So you gotta play stupid. You gotta be like, damn, there's so many stars, it's crazy. You can't tell them the truth. The truth, to be like, yeah, look, I know horoscopes. How about you pretend you don't know about fantasy football so we can make this work, okay? I don't want to start at square one again. Falling in love sucks. It does. Being in love is great. Being in love, two people on the same page, same team, that's great. I think falling in love is that feeling you get. Stay with me. I think it's an evolutionary glitch. Right? It's something that our brain does to make you overlook the other person's flaws, so you're more likely to Falling in love is just Mother Nature tricking you into nutting into an unstable woman. That's what falling in love. No, because you miss all the red flags when you're falling in love. You do. I'll prove it, right? Let's say you're at home, you're falling in love, she comes home, and one day she tells you that she hates dogs. Right? You're like, whatever, I'm a cat person. It's fine. You're falling in love. You find a way. The next day, she's like, hey, just so you know, I hate my sister. You're like, all right, whatever. You just think it's hot she has family. You know? The next day, she's like, hey, I hate my neighbor, Dorothy. You're like, all right, cool. At least she has a house. Next thing you know, you're nutting inside the Wicked Witch of the West. See, you just missed all the red flags. Been trying to stay motivated, trying to stay up. It's hard to stay, but I'm Gen Z, so the only way I get motivated to do anything anymore is if there's like an online challenge involved. Like, I don't like doing my laundry, but I'll do like the fold my pile challenge or some shit. I've been with women that hate it. They're just like, Vishnu, can we focus and have sex right now and not do the don't come quick challenge? I'm like, all right, we can put the tripod away. There's this app that women use called the Flow app. I don't know any Flow app users.
I'm a flower.
Flow, you're a flow. That's what we're calling them. Flower. I like that. Men, if you don't, I'm not mansplaining Flow, I'm explaining to the men. It's different. All right, look. The Flow app is an app that women use to track periods and pregnancies. They get helpful notifications along the way.
And symptoms.
And symptoms, yeah. Yeah, no, it's good. I just think they should make an app for dudes called the Bro app, right? And the Bro app only does one thing, is when your girlfriend's late, you just get a notification that just goes, bro. Bro. I think technology is just moving way too fast. You know, like we're just making progress for progress' sake. We're not asking to stop ourselves if the progress is hurting us. It's changing our brain, changing the way we think. Okay. Basically what I'm saying is I tried VR porn and I'm embarrassed. All right. I didn't mean to try it. I was at a Best Buy and the headset was on sale and I was like, all right. Let's see. The first mistake I made is I took it up to the cashier and I put it down and he was like, oh man, is this for gaming? And I was like, no. And he knew immediately what I was about to do. I got home. So I get home, I put the headset on, I load up a video picture, but don't like picture, but picture, right? I put the headset on. I load up a video, boom. I'm in another world, right? Women everywhere, titties everywhere. It's amazing. I'm looking around, I'm taking it all in. Then I look down and I realize that the whole time, my dick was white. Do you understand they put all this time, money, energy into VR? Nobody thought about the dick color. I was pissed. It took me out of it completely. But then I gave myself a backstory and I kind of got into it a little bit. My name was Connor. I just graduated from film school at USC. And my dad's a producer, so I know as long as I keep working hard, everything's gonna be okay. And sure, people are gonna call me a Nepo baby, but who doesn't make it without a little help? What, if I was a baker's son, they wouldn't care, so what, I have to work a job that I just nutted everywhere. That's how that's we do shit like that. I don't know what to tell you. That was the girl. I don't know if men are genuinely worse than women, or if women are just better at describing how bad men are. I've heard women describe their exes like he gaslit me, he love bombed me. Great descriptors. Men, we gotta get better at that. Like a woman could physically abuse me, verbally abuse me, slap my mom, shoot my dog, steal all my money. And I would just go to my friends the next day and be like, man, she was tripping. She was something else. I support women. I do. I want you to know that. I do. I have WNBA season tickets. I do. Why wouldn't I? I love women. I love basketball. Why wouldn't I have? People look at me crazy when I tell them that. And I'm like, look, if you love women, you love basketball, and you have $17 lying around, you too can also. Ticket holders. I don't know, man. This next one's gonna be on the edge, but we'll get through it. I know men are dangerous, and that's the problem. It's embarrassing how, like, as a group, men are bad, and it's not even it's the ones you don't even think are dangerous. You know, like the whole Justin Roiland thing threw me off. If you don't know who he is, he's the creator of Rick and Morty, the animated show, and he got in trouble for domestic violence. And I was like, damn. Even nerds are hitting their wives now? Like, this is crazy. This is out of hand. You're not surprised when an athlete hits. You're not surprised. You're mad, you're sad, you're disappointed. You're not surprised, but a cartoonist? He was yelling out "Hiya" when he did it? Like, what? I'm glad these men get outed and they get taken down. I feel like there's a group of people that we also need to take down that we're not. I think we need to cancel all caricature artists. I think they're the worst. I think they're just assholes with crayons. Like, how do we let them get away? Do you understand if there was a caricature artist sitting right here, okay, and they drew a picture of me riding a cow into a 7-Eleven, and they turned it around, I just have to be like, thank you so much, you're so talented. Here's $20. Well, I should be able to punt this crazy. I remember my first caricature. It was at SeaWorld, and the dude drew a picture of me riding Shamu, but my ears were bigger than the whale. I was 5. Fuck this guy. Why would he do that? It's crazy. My parents put it on the wall. I had to walk by it every day. Yeah. He fucked up, though. He signed his name at the bottom. His name's Tom Rockmeyer. He lives in El Segundo with his wife, Kathy, 2 kids, Cody, and I'm gonna fuck Tom up. I started stand-up in Ohio, is where I was going to school, and I would perform in like a lot of small towns, and I would do this thing before I would go to a small town, is I would look up the demographics of the city before going, just so I knew what I was getting into, right? And one time I was performing in the city called Geneva, Ohio, okay? And this was 2017, so it might look a little different now, but I looked up the demographics, and Geneva, Ohio had 5,000 people, okay? 5,000 people, 4,900 white, 80 Hispanic, 18 black, and 2 Asians in Geneva, Ohio. 2. You understand that means I walked into Geneva, Ohio, top 3 Asian right off the bat, okay? They built me a statue. I'm on the Mount Rushmore of Asians. That wasn't the weird part. The weird part was the promoter didn't ask me for a headshot and said they like went on my Facebook and found a picture for when I was like 14, like I looked 14. They put this on the flyer, printed this out in black and white, put it all over town. So everybody showed up expecting to see this like 14-year-old white comedy prodigy. And then I got on stage. It's tough to describe the reaction. They looked like they had taken their kids to a Kids Bop concert and R. Kelly jumped on stage. I'll perform in front of everybody. I don't mind performing in front of white people. I've learned a lot about white people, actually. Like, you know what I learned? I learned it's never good when white people want to borrow you for a second. That's never good. Never good. Anytime a white person's like, hey, can I borrow you for a second? I'm always like, You get that call to the principal's office feeling, you know? Can I borrow you? But I guess white people do have to say how long they're going to take you, because sometimes they take people of color and they don't give them back. They just... Can I borrow you is way better than the alternative, which just used to be, come here. That's what they used to do. Yeah. I was at an event recently that started with a land acknowledgement. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. Basically, before the event started, somebody came out. They're like, hey, before we begin tonight, I just want to let you guys know the land we're on once belonged to Native Americans. Please take a moment to acknowledge that, right? Which I feel like would have been cool if it wasn't a Blue Man Group concert. Like, it just felt like a weird time to be thinking about the natives. Also, that's not how stealing works. You know, you can't just take something and acknowledge that you stole it to make it okay. Like, imagine if you got in your friend's car after this, right? And they were like, hey, just before we start driving, I want to let you know that this car once belonged to my neighbor, Tracy. But she left the garage door open. She has to walk everywhere now. It's fine. That'd be crazy. Try that in the Middle East. See how that works right now. I have been boycotting McDonald's and Starbucks because they're allegedly funding genocide in the Middle East. Right? It's my first time boycotting anything ever, and it's been like really good for my bank account. Like really good. Like so good. I think my new financial plan is to just pretend that every business is funding genocide in the Middle East. It's gonna work. I'm gonna save thousands. I'm gonna have like a Rolex in a few months. People are like, oh my God, comedies? I'm like, no. It's simple. I just pretended that every strip club was funding genocide. I hope Kamala wins coming up. I do. Yeah, sure. I hope she wins. But if she doesn't, that means liberals will have the chance to storm the Capitol this time. And they won't. We know they won't. But could you imagine how fun it would be? The costumes alone. If you thought the Viking helmet guy was cool, wait till you see a drag queen dressed as John Adams storm that shit. Right? Hozier playing in the background, like yeah. Kamala is she's half black and half Indian, and I think if she wins, they should do like a half off sale in her honor on watches. Because there's nothing that Indian and black people love more than being late to shit, right? Like her inauguration might be scheduled for 11, but it's not starting until 2:30, right? She's got 2 sets of strong genetics. I hope she wins, but I don't know what's gonna get fixed. Things feel crazy right now. This is it just feels insane. The world feels like it's falling apart. Hurricanes, earthquakes, it's a lot. There's been a lot. It sucks because we know there's a big earthquake coming here. We all know we're due for a big one. And what's even worse is you kind of know what the news is going to be like the next day, right? It's going to be all these right-wing conservatives be like, that's what you libtards in Hollywood get. That's what you libtards get. And then all the people on the left will be buried in rubble. We won't be able to talk at all. It's crumbling. Shit feels bleak. I know people say to be optimistic. It's hard sometimes. I feel like you don't even have to look that hard for signs. Like, I feel like if you want to know how bad things are going, you just have to look at the way that Bill Nye has aged over the past 20 years. You remember him when we were young? He was so happy. He was so happy. He was like, hey kids, this is the earth, let's protect. He was the best. Then 10 years ago, he came out with a show called Bill Nye Saves the World. And you could tell he was a little irritated. You know, like the vibe of that was like, all right guys, this is a recycling bin, learn how to fucking use it. But we got this, it's okay. He has a show on Peacock right now just called The End Is Nigh. It's just him, like, everything's on fire, fuck. It's like, all right, Bill, you taught us all this. This is on you. Feels like it's getting... Remember when we used to laugh at doomsday preppers? We used to make fun of them a lot, man. We used to watch that show, make fun of them. Now I watch that show, I watch doomsday preppers, I'm like, oh, these are actually really mentally healthy people if you think about it. They want to live so bad, they are preparing to survive an apocalypse. That's how bad they want to live. Not me, man. That's my episode of Doomsday Preppers would be trash. They'd be like, hey, let's see how one man is preparing to survive nuclear war. They'd be like, yeah, right there's where I keep the noose. I don't want to be here. Every room's an escape room if you kill yourself in it. Oh, it is. You're looking around like, is that fan something? No, I don't want to kill myself. I listen to the Logic song. Everything's okay. That's fine. I just know I wouldn't survive I wear glasses. I'm not... Any TV, movie show, Last of Us, Walking Dead, I Am Legend, not a single person wearing glasses. Because we all died on day 2 looking for our glasses. The only way I survive an apocalypse is if lens crafters also survive. You know what I feel like sometimes? I feel like that squirrel in the Ice Age movies. You guys know what I'm talking about? Scrat with the big eyes? You've ever seen it? He's a squirrel and basically all he cares about is getting his acorn, right? That's it. He just chases acorn, whole world's falling apart. All he wants is his acorn. That's how I feel. I'm just trying to get good enough at jokes so one day I can buy myself a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bathroom bunker. Like that's... They've made so many Ice Age movies. They keep rebooting stuff. I think we should do the reboots. I just think everybody in the reboots, we shouldn't just start new. We should pick up where we like they're rebooting Harry Potter, and I think that's great. I just don't think the kids should get the Harry Potter we got. You know, like their Harry Potter should be 26, working 4 jobs to pay off his student loans from Hogwarts. You know, because even magic doesn't pay the bills. Mr. Rogers, I loved Mr. Rogers as a kid. I think kids today should get Mr. Rogers, except theirs should be like 70 and really into QAnon and Fox News. Or like Caillou, I loved Caillou. I just think their Caillou should be like 30 going to Turkey for a hair transplant. You know, like they should get, I don't know. They keep rebooting stuff, but it's for the nostalgia, right? It makes us feel safe, the world's great. That's why you go see the Barbie movie, the Mario movie, reminds you of a better time. It's not just the movies, it's the clothes coming back. I mean, like I would never buy a used dirty item, but if you call it vintage, I'll take 5, okay? The movies, the clothes, the music. Music's powerful for nostalgia. You ever hear a song and it takes you back to the moment you first heard it? You know, you get those warm feelings. Like one time in college, I used to live by a football stadium, and one time I got head to the national anthem in the background. And now anytime I go to like a sporting event, and they're like, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats, I'm the only one sitting. And people think it's a protest. I'm like, no, I'm just rock hard right now. Like, I can't stand up. I feel like we're all just chasing that. Nostalgia. I went to India earlier this year. But before going to India, they recommended that I get vaccines. So I went to the travel clinic, and they told me that I needed to get hepatitis, cholera, and typhoid. Those were the three. And they said each one was $120, and insurance wouldn't cover it. So I looked at my checking account, and I had to decide which two I was scared of the most. And which one I felt like I could beat. You know, I was sitting there like, man, I think I could beat cholera. No, I got none of them. I went, I came back, everything's fine. They just try to scare you for more money. It's a beautiful place. It's fine. It's okay. I went to India for a specific reason. There's a village in India, and this village is a statue of my great-great-grandfather. And he was a good person. He was a really good person. I feel like I should say that because like if a white guy in America tells you there's a statue of their great-great-grandfather, probably got taken down in 2020, all right? Probably just terrible. But the last time we visited the statue was 2001. I was 4 years old, and it was one of my earliest memories, just being surrounded by all these friends, family. It was great. And nobody had been back since. Nobody knew if it was there, so I wanted to go back. I took Telugu lessons before going. That's a language we speak. I understood it, but I wanted to be able to speak it well. I took it 3 times a week, 6 a.m. for 4 months. And I remember the week before going, I was so excited. I told my teacher, I was like, hey, I'm going to India next week. This is my last class. And he went, next week? Next week. Vishnu, just so you know, everybody there speaks English. You'll be fine. That's what he told me. Everybody speaks. I tried to do stand-up in India. I wanted to do a full set in Telugu, my language, but my show got canceled the day of because everybody got cholera. No, there were some logistic issues with the venue. They canceled, so I had to find something. So I went to a poetry open mic. I don't know if you ever tried doing stand-up at a poetry open mic. It's like twerking at a ballroom dance class. Like it doesn't go over. The language barrier is hard. Like even like with my religion, my whole religion is in a language called Sanskrit. Right? I never learned Sanskrit. We speak Telugu at home. Hindi is a national language, but my religion is this new language, which makes it hard to connect. You know, I still believe it. The only way to describe it is like every time I go to the temple, it's like I'm going to a SoundCloud rappers concert. You know, like the priest is just up there like, hoo-da-da-da, hoo-da-da-da. I'm like, man, I don't know what you just said, but I felt that. So I get to India, and all I have is a picture of the statue, the name of the village, and like a second grade speaking level. All right, it's like the worst episode of Dora you've ever seen. I get there, I find a driver. We drive 2.5 hours to this village. On the way there, I'm like, oh my God, is it gonna be there? My family didn't know. I got there, and we see these uncles standing on the corner. It's just a group of random Indian men. I go up to them, show them a picture, and I go, hey, I'm looking for this statue. And one of them starts speaking back to me in Telugu so fast. But I recognize the last 2 words that he said, which was follow me. Right? So I follow him, we walk for like 3 or 4 minutes. And he takes me right to the statue. And I feel so much. You know, like I felt so happy it was there. All these memories come rushing back of when I was 4, visiting. I felt safe. I felt proud to see my roots, you know. But most of all, I couldn't help but think about how my kids and my kids' kids and my kids' kids' kids would one day go visit my statue in Geneva, Ohio. also learned some poems in Telugu. So దేశ దేశాలు పట్టుకు తిరుగుతున్నాను, అన్ని లోకాలు నావే అనుకుంటున్నాను, నిజంగా నేను శూన్యలోక వాసిని, ఎప్పుడైనా ఎక్కడైనా ప్రవాసిని.